Hello Model Ayers and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be installing a carburetor built specially for me from Paul Shinn. I hope you enjoy the video. The first thing I'm going to do is remove the fuel line from this carburetor. Thank you, Sonny, for letting me borrow this, by the way. So there was nothing wrong with my carburetor before, but when I was replacing the manifolds, I couldn't get it off. And it turns out I severely over tightened the bolt that holds it all together at the bottom of the carburetor, and it stripped the bolt and cracked the housing. So thanks again to Paul Shinn for rebuilding a early 1930s specific Zenith carburetor. You should definitely go check out his channel. He has some great Model A content and how-tos. Okay, once you disconnect the fuel line, you're going to unhook the throttle linkage. You just pull it forward, it's spring-loaded. Then you're going to unhook the choke and gav linkage. You take off the sleeve and the spring, and then this little felt washer. And I'm just going to push that up into the car for now. And then the two 1/2-inch bolts on top that hold the carburetor onto the intake.
So I've got two halves of a Zenith 1 carburetor, which should be correct for Matteo's 1930 Ford Model A. Now I've got a set of Renner's corner flow tested jets ready to go. I've got most of the other parts. I'm going to take these over to the wire wheel and I'm going to clean these all up, maybe sandblast a little bit, spray some epoxy black paint on them, make them look kind of pretty, and then we'll start putting the carburetor together. Look at this. Boom! Looks like a brand new carburetor. All I got to do now is just make it into a carburetor. So here we go. If I may draw your attention to my messy wet metal workbench here. All right, so I've got the freshly painted parts. Now I get to start assembling. The first thing I'm going to do is jets. So number one is the main jet. That's this one here, and it gets a little fiber washer. The main jet goes right in here. You install that with a screwdriver. Now, first thing I'm going to do before I install these jets, I'm going to check them. So although these are already flow tested, I'm still just going to check them anyway. So the main jet is supposed to be 0.0394 inches. That's basically a number 61 drill. So what I do is I take acetylene torch tip cleaners, I take the appropriate cleaner, and I'm going to measure this jet, and it is perfect.
Now, the reason why you should check the diameter of the orifices in the jets is because some reproduction jets, the diameter is incorrect, which causes the car not to run how it should, which is why I prefer original jets. Or if you're going to use reproduction jets, you can fill it with solder and then drill it out to the correct diameter. But if you want to see the full video of the rebuilding of this carburetor, head on over to Paul Shinn's channel. I'll leave a link to this video on his channel in the top right corner. To remove the sediment bowl, you turn the nut towards you to loosen it. Okay, I finally got it loose. You can see all the glitter in there that should not be there. Okay, so I'm going to remove the rubber gasket or cork, depending on what you have, and then this brass screen. So you won't be needing that anymore. So I'll be putting one of these just like that. Now here's a carburetor from Paul Shinn. This is correct for early 30 because it has the certain brass features of it, and it is a Zenith 1 carburetor. I can't thank him enough for providing this carburetor. And again, you should really check out his channel. Okay, so now I'm going to install the carburetor. I have the gasket on the intake. And then I have the 2 1/2-inch bolts. And once I install it, I'm going to test run it and adjust it as needed. Paul Shinn tested it on one of his cars, so it may need a little bit more adjustment on mine, but we'll see. Okay, that's good. Okay, so now I'm reinstalling the fuel line. And if anyone knows where I can find original fuel lines, let me know in the comments, because this is fine for now, but I try to keep this as original as possible. Okay, now that the fuel line is reinstalled and I checked everything for leaks, we can reattach the throttle linkage, the choke / gav. This goes on, you have your felt, your leather, your spring, and then your sleeve. And then slide that over. Okay, everything's now attached. And now we're going to start it up. Okay, so the idle is a little high. So what we're going to do is take our screwdriver and back it off a little bit. And that sounds pretty good to me. Okay, I'm going for a ride with the new carburetor. Wow, this is great. So much more power. Yeah, I think the problem was that the carburetor that I had reproduction jets. And they're obviously not made correctly, so it won't run right. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks to Paul Shinn for rebuilding the carburetor for me. And again, check out his channel. I'll leave a link in the description. But until next time, drive those Model A's.